What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Thursday, May 1st. Now, in today's video, have you noticed that Doge Bitcoin is pumping? Well, there are many different factors of why Doge Bitcoin is pumping, but I've been sharing with you in the charting analysis that this was expected to happen. But I'm going to share with you even more shocking data within charting analysis, which is where can we see Doge Bitcoin's price within the short to immediate term? What are the resistance levels? And also, are we going to hit $1 billion in July, or at least before then? I want to cover it all in this video. But before we do, we need to cover what's going on in the crypto market, where is the sentiment, and also talk about Kraken potentially becoming the first tier 1 centralized exchange listing to list off for spot trading. Now, I want to cover all these different details. Let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X, and please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. So guys and girls, let's get right into it. So Doge Bitcoin right now is close to around 300 million market cap. It actually hit 300 million market cap 3 times, right around here, here, and here. Now, it's up 11% over the past 24 hours. Now, it's not just whales and retail accumulating Doge Bitcoin. It's also because Bitcoin's going up as well. It's up 3.32%. And as you've noticed over and over, Doge Bitcoin tends to pump harder in terms of Satoshis more than Bitcoin. Now let's compare Doge to Bitcoin's price and see how it's been performing over the past 24 hours. And as you can see, Doge is still outperforming Bitcoin over the past 24 hours, over the past 7 days for sure, over the past month for sure. Look over the past year. This has actually shrunk. It went from around 13% to around 8% to the downside compared to Bitcoin's price. But if we look at the overall chart, look at this, it's down 33%. Remember, this used to be down around 70%. We've nearly cut more than 50% of that leeway of negativity. So if Bitcoin's going to continue to go up, that means you can expect that also Doge Bitcoin will go up as well. That means your Satoshis are going to grow. Now let's look at what Bitcoin's price could be in the short to immediate term. So this is Colin Talks Crypto. He's always been correlating global M2 money supply to Bitcoin's price. And as you can see, it's pretty much in line of what's happening. Now this is money that's flowing throughout the world. It's not just America, it's Asia, it's Europe, it's South America, it's everywhere. So when there's global M2 money supply, stimulus entering their economy, printing money or having the money printing machine on, you'll tend to see gold and also Bitcoin have a lagging effect, but they will eventually catch up to that amount of growth. So what we could expect in July is that Bitcoin itself could reach above $130,000 to $160,000. Now, if you don't think that's even more bullish, Plan B, who is pretty much the person that created the stock to flow model, he's really bullish on Bitcoin. He even said that right now, as of this morning, realized price is up. 2-year realized price is up. 5-month realized price is up. Bitcoin's price higher than all realized prices, which means that the bull market continues. Now these dots right here are pretty much months until the next halving. So as you've noticed, we went from the red dots into the orange dots. Now what does that actually mean? Well, pretty much the red dots would signify that we are in very much the beginning of a bull run before the orange dots appear. Then when the orange dots form, that's when we see a parabolic run. And you see here, so you see the red dots, then a parabolic run once you saw the orange dots. It's a little different over here back in 2021. Once we saw the red dots, the orange dots, we did go to the downside, but we went back up to hit a new all-time high of Bitcoin's price. So what he's predicting based on the stock to flow model, and this is his predictions, okay? He predicts that Bitcoin's price could hit as high as $500,000 this cycle between 2025 and 2026. That's what he's saying based on his model. Now let's look at the meme coin market cap. It's now at $60 billion. Now, not too long ago, this is at $50 billion. And remember, in December, the total meme market cap was $100 billion. So remember, I mentioned to you that Doge Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was going to reach as close to around $100,000, Doge Bitcoin was going to reclaim 300 million market cap, and we actually did exactly just that. Now look at Doge Bitcoin. It's now the 16th largest meme coin across all chains, okay? So keep that in mind. This right now has 11.46% gain over the past 24 hours. Now, not many of these other coins are actually up that much other than AI16, also Brett, but all these other coins aren't really pumping as much, even the blue chips. It's because their market caps are so high, there's not as much growth. But what I think is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, I think Dog Bitcoin is going to flip SPX 6900. It's pretty much in line to do that. Now, you remember, I just mentioned that Dog Bitcoin is the 16th largest meme coin by market cap across all chains. Keep in mind, within the top 20, Dog, even though it's the 16th largest meme coin, it has no tier 1 centralized exchange listing. Now, if you notice on the previous slide, when I showed you the rankings of all the meme coins, check out all those meme coins. All of them have at least one tier 1 centralized exchange listing. Dog has 0. Imagine one centralized exchange listing that could happen for Dog. It's going to send it above the market cap of SPX 6900 and higher. I'll get into that in just a little bit of who that centralized exchange listing could be. Now, it's also really surprising that Lunar Crush showed in the Solana ecosystem that Dog was the 10th popular meme coin on Solana. Now, if you don't know, there is a wrap version of Dog on Solana. The fact that it's capturing that amount of mind share is kind of crazy. So that just goes to show you that Dog's not only dominating within the Runes protocol, but also cross-chain. So this is the point of having as many buy buttons as possible, because now people on Solana can buy, sell, trade Dog with ease. Remember, I mentioned in yesterday's video by Market Coinpedia that all their indicators said it was a strong buy for Dog. This involved their moving averages, the moving average crossover, and their oscillator. All this said strong buy. So if you were paying attention and if you were subscribed to our channel, you would have been buying into Dog at a 270 million market cap. Now it's close to 300 million and it's going to go higher. And don't worry, I'll share your trading analysis in a little bit. What's also crazy, yesterday I saw a whale wallet that had 1.3 million US dollars worth of Dog. That's roughly 460 million tokens. And yesterday they accumulated 13 million additional Dog tokens. Now, this wallet is 245 days old, keep in mind. And also, they have not sold or transferred any Dog tokens since the 245-day creation of this wallet. And I also did even a deeper dive into this wallet. I wanted to know who this wallet was. Now, they use something called CoinJoin. As I mentioned before, basically this wallet uses CoinJoin, a cryptographic technique used to enhance privacy in cryptocurrency transactions by combining multiple inputs from different users in a single transaction, making it harder to trace the origin of the funds. So this is kind of crazy to see that this wallet right here is something that we just don't know. It could be a whale, it could be a market maker, or it could be a tier 1 exchange for that matter. Now, in terms of ranking, that wallet that I just showed you is the 13th largest wallet of holding Dog. There are many more other wallets. Some of these two, one of them is BitGet, one of them is Gate.io on the top 2. But I'm just telling you, something's happening behind the scenes. They know what's up that we retail and us whales may not even know. So I want to talk about a tier 1, okay? So I want to talk about Kraken, as I mentioned in earlier's video. So I'm pretty sure you know about the SNEC token. Now, that's the meme coin on Kraken. Now, one of their core contributors to SNEC ended up tweeting and saying, sincerely, thank you to everyone who made SNEC listing on Kraken. Now, what's one of the names that was referred to as a thank you to the listing of SNEC on Kraken? One of them was Peter. Now, Peter, if you don't know, is the BD and listing manager on behalf of Kraken. Now, when I go over to his page, if you notice in his replies, if you scroll down, he's been very active with the Dog community. So one person says GM to Kraken, Peter, and Kraken Pro. And Peter says match made in heaven. I'll scroll down even further because he continues to even say to Dog Damasa, good morning Kraken, he says. He responds, good morning. Then I scroll even further down. Now I remember I mentioned a post earlier before, which was that Bitcoin has done over $9.5 billion in US trading volume since April 24 of 2024. And down below, Peter said, good morning. Then just yesterday, we had another person say, Rodrigo, good morning, Peter, when Dog on Kraken FX. He responds, GM. It doesn't just stop there. Down below, somebody says, Kraken FX, list Dog for spot trading. And then another person decided to say, when Dog Kraken FX, list me. Guess who responded? Peter, who says cute. Now, I'm not saying that Kraken is going to list the token of Dog on Kraken, okay? Peter could just be engagement farming, who knows? But nonetheless, you saw that in that previous post that Peter was the reason why Snack listed on Kraken. So is Peter going to list and help assist with Dog to be listed on Kraken FX? I definitely think that this could possibly happen. As much as it's pretty far-fetched, that's what I think is what's really going on. But again, this is just my own speculation, right? You guys and girls have to do your own research, but we have to move on. So just yesterday, I shared a sneak peek into Slingshot, the mobile app that's going to be integrating Bitcoin runes into their mobile app so that people can buy with Apple Pay, credit cards, PayPal, whatever you choose. You're going to be able to buy Dog from the Runes protocol. You don't have to buy Dog, the wrap version, on Solana. This is the official version. And I got a huge sneak peek of this. It's really fast. It's really quick. It's almost like you don't even know that you're buying anything on Bitcoin, because you know that Bitcoin behind the scenes has like 10-minute validation for blocks. So this is very easy. This is a game changer. And by the way, if you haven't already signed up for Slingshot, the mobile app, scan this barcode with your phone that's on the screen right now, download Slingshot, get your funds ready, and get ready to buy Dog Bitcoin before it pumps. If you don't want to buy it on Magic Eden, if you don't want to download an Xverse wallet, then buy it on this phone. And you can also sell Dog with ease. You don't have to sell blocks. You can sell it instantly. Now let's talk about the charting and analysis. Now, I mentioned yesterday's post that right now we just saw a bullish crossover with the MACD. That's when the orange line and the blue line cross. Now, when this last cross was a bearish divergence. As you can see, the bearish crossover happened here when the blue crossed the orange and it went down. Now it's crossing, reversing to the upside. So now we're seeing that the bulls are now back in control. Now, when we go over to this charting analysis, you can see that right now the selling pressure got weak fast. It's getting really weak. Now, what you do need to know is that we have not seen blue histogram bars. This is a buyer's market area right here. Whenever you start to see blue, this is great. That means the buyers are back. But the fact that it hasn't even shown up is actually quite interesting, because you just saw a massive pump from around 100 million market cap to close to 300 million market cap. The fact that we haven't seen a blue bar just yet means that this is going to go up much higher than $1 billion. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that we haven't even seen blue histogram bars, we're going to possibly reach 380 million market cap before we even see a blue histogram bar. That's just my personal opinion. But we have to zoom out on the daily time frame. Now, why is this really important? Now, when you look at this specific chart, look at what you're paying attention to, right? So we just passed this resistance level that is now support, which is 270 million market cap. The next resistance level is 380 million market cap. Now, I could expect that we could trade sideways for a little bit before we actually pump up, or it could just be a straight slingshot up. Again, it's all due to what Bitcoin's price is doing. But I think that still we are in the cards, because right now we are in the buyer's market. This could actually continue to go up with this blue and orange line into the buyer's market, bounce off this resistance level, back down as we saw back over here, only to restart its another bull trend. And so I definitely think that right now, even with this regression trend, that we are still aiming for $1 billion and higher before August. That's just my prediction. Please don't take that as financial advice. Anything can happen in the market. And also, there could be any black swan events that we don't know of. So keep in mind, this is just what I'm seeing in the charts. But right now, the volatility mean of Dog to the upside is quite possible. And as you're seeing, this orange line right here, which is the 50-day moving average, is curving so much. This 200-day moving average is going to cross this 50-day moving average. And the reason this is so important, this curvature, is that it's going to curve more and more and more, which means that the price of Dog Bitcoin is going to go up and up and up and up and up. That's how it works. That's how a golden cross is. And when a golden cross does happen, this thing is going to pretty much be your fork. You're going to see a lot of FOMO, okay? So that's why I just want to share with everybody in a nutshell. So there you have it. That's Dog Bitcoin. That's charting analysis, a potential listing on Kraken, and everything happening with Bitcoin's price. You're seeing that right now we're in a bull run, and it's following the global M2 money supply, and it's gearing up for something that's going to happen by the end of July that is going to get massive retail to come back in, okay? Because retail, when I'm talking about retail, people that don't pay attention to crypto, these are baby boomers. These are just people that know nothing about cryptocurrency. These people haven't returned yet. You are very early. The fact that you know how to buy Dog Bitcoin, it's like buying Dogecoin before people even knew how to buy it on exchanges. And also, you're buying something that's the #1 meme coin on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin DeFi is here. Like, this is the new beginning of something that no one's ever seen before. All developers from Ethereum, Solana, Cardano are going to flock over to Bitcoin DeFi. These developers want to build because they know that there's a lot of VC money there and there's a lot of attraction there. We've already had the Ethereum bull run. We've already had the Solana bull run. We already had the Cardano bull run. Now, they will have a bull run regardless, those chains, but I'm talking about meme coins for that matter. This meme coin right here is what people are going to chase after, and also Bitcoin DeFi as well. So with that that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please trade safely. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday, but until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. But by supporting this channel, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and trades regarding Dog on the Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.